The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus raised his eyes to his disciples and said, "Blessed are you poor. The reign of God is yours. Blessed are you who hunger. You shall be filled. Blessed are you who are weeping. You shall laugh. Blessed shall you be when men hate you, when they ostracize you and insult you and prescribe your name as evil because of the Son of Man. On the day they do so, rejoice and exult, for your reward shall be great in heaven. Thus it was that their fathers treated the prophets. But woe to you, rich, for your consolation is now. Woe to you who are full, you shall go hungry. Woe to you who laugh now, you shall weep in your grief. Woe to you when all speak well of you. Their fathers treated the false prophets in just this way." The Gospel of the Lord. This beautiful church that we're in, we might imagine that we're already in heaven. The world seems very far away, and we feel at home here. We know that we are very close to God here. And we want to live our lives in a way that is pleasing to Him. And who are the examples that we look to make sure that is so? We look, first of all, to Jesus. And then we look to his Blessed Mother, both of whom were virgins. God comes among us and lives a virginal life. And he comes among us and is born of a virgin. The readings are telling us not to be entranced and caught up in the good things of the world, the pleasures of the world. Marriage is definitely for this life only. It is created by God and blessed by Him to create human persons, primarily. It's also for the consolation of the spouses, but primarily it is to give life to the world, life that is filled with the divine life of God and is destined to share in the divine life of God in heaven. Jesus tells us quite clearly there is no giving and receiving in marriage in heaven. We recall that from the conversation he has, the teaching he gives to the Sadducees, who give him this ridiculous example of the woman who was married 7 times, and then each husband dies, and they said, "Who will she be married to in heaven?" And he says this is a ridiculous situation, because in heaven we are like the angels of God. There is no giving and receiving in marriage in heaven. And therefore we are here preparing for the wonderful life of heaven by already living as far as we can, according to the state of life that we're in chastity, because there's even chastity practiced within marriage. The spouses work at not coming together in order to train themselves for the life of heaven and to practice virginity even within marriage, because that is the life that we're all destined for now, the life of the angels in heaven, when we will be united to the divine life of God. And that's why St. Paul is rather reluctant in teaching on this particular topic, but he says his fundamental teaching in the reading that we heard first is that the world as we know it is passing away. So if something is passing away, we don't get embroiled in it. We pass through as quickly as we can, if possible, because, as we know, our life in this world is but as a blink in comparison to eternity. And therefore, our eyes are set firmly on the life of heaven. And we live in this world doing good, as the Holy Father has taught us as earlier, living in mercy, showing mercy to all those around us, because we can afford to show that mercy, because we know that this life cannot satisfy us. It's when we get embroiled in this life that we become selfish, and we grab and grab and grab for the good things that this world offers us. But when we have our eyes set on heaven and practicing virginity in our own way, then we can afford to be merciful. Mercy is the child of virginity. As we know with Our Lady, she is the mother of mercy because she's a virgin. Jesus is the source of mercy because he is God, but also because he comes among us to bring us to heaven. The first thing that he preaches is, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is close at hand. He moves us forward to that wonderful place, to our destiny. And so let's exult in the psalm, this wonderful psalm of God speaking to each one of us, saying, forget your Father's house, forget this world. So shall the King desire your beauty. That means God is desiring you and is longing to unite you with himself in the glory of his life in heaven. So let's listen to the voice of the Lord and just picture, as it's very easy to do so in this wonderful church, the glory of heaven and our union with God forever.